There we go. All right, Shalom Akim. Yeah, start off first and foremost by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Quadash. A double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who fear and nourish us through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Salutations, shalom, and blessings to you, sincere Akim, that stand grounded and rooted and continue to push this word. That's right. You know, you see from the title, they shall hate the whore. And the they is all the rest of these other nations. Because in that whore is America. You know, because America is the only, is the main people that's, the Americans and the people that rule this America are the main people that's pushing this democracy on people, this women's liberation, putting sanctions on other countries. You know, hey, hey, this place is going down fast, man. You know, and Donald Trump he's assisting in that downfall. Okay, grab that real quick.
This is Revelation chapter 17, starting at verse starting at verse 15. It says, "And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore and make her desolate."
Exactly. And those 10 horns, those are the various other countries, what, Belgium, Germany, just the nations that are in league with the NATO. Okay, because yesterday, the article came out that Trump is trying to pull out of the NATO. Okay, and if Trump pulls out of the NATO, man, you know what NATO is going to do, which is already prophesied that all these countries are going to send nukes to America. But as soon as Trump pull out of there, man, hey, you're going to become NATO's biggest enemy.
Yep. Okay,
because none of them countries like you anyway already. You going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, basically it's the same scenario as these NBA teams that get LeBron James and build the whole team around LeBron James, and then he leaves, and now they stuck with that husk of a team that was all built for his strengths. You know what I'm saying? NATO with the United States is basically the same way. The United States has basically made these other countries position themselves to where they play towards America's strengths, and if America pulls out of that, well, then they're gonna be left with this giant gap.
Exactly.
That they're not gonna be able to fill.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. And then you got Russia that's been asking to be part of NATO for the longest. And why don't they? They've never been accepted because who? America. America's stopping them, is putting a block on them from getting to the NATO.
Well, Turkey was asking to be a part of NATO, and they kept stopping them from to be a part of NATO and the EU, and they kept stopping them. So that's why now you're seeing the prophecy of Ezekiel 38. You know, Turkey lining up with Russia. You know, but NATO was set up to combat against Russia.
Exactly.
You know, after World War II.
Yeah, because Russia they won that small arms race, man. You know, and hey man, this joint's going down, man. This joint's going down.
The Cold War, yeah, Russia won the Cold War, and that's the whole thing. What was that? 1989, I believe, or 1990. They were talking about the Cold War was over, but really it never ended. You know, they kept building up the arms behind secret doors. You know, behind the media or whatnot. You know. But you still had the nations building up weaponry and everything. That's why they had what they call the black market. You know, and Russia was selling weapons to different proxy armies. You know, that's where you get that term proxy wars from. You know, Afghanistan, that was a proxy war. You know, basically 9/11 was a whole slew of proxy wars. The wars after 9/11.
All the wars is going on right now. All this shit with the Taliban and the ISIS and all that. That's all proxy.
And you know? Now it's building up to the bigger end all be all, which is World War III.
Yeah, but now it's gonna be the true men behind the shit that's gonna be at the forefront of these wars rather than the minions. Okay.
Can you pull up on RT? The headline is Salakia. I was just looking over it.
It's a new article?
It's a new article. It should be up there. It's basically Russia. Oh, it says Russia warns U.S.
The first one?
Yep, Russia warns U.S. against arms race on Earth and space.
Yeah, man, Russia's is steadily throwing out warning shots, man. Pretty soon, man, ain't gonna be no more warnings, man. It's just gonna be action taking place, man.
It's basically based around Trump announcing that new missile defense system that they placed up there in Alaska. Mm-hmm. You know, the U.S. just placed a new missile defense system up there in Alaska. So that article kind of touches up on that. You want me to continue reading on this?
I believe yesterday you had Trump that addressed the Pentagon. You know, I was kind of watching the video, a little bit of that video, and basically what he was saying was they're buying new weaponry, they're buying advanced missile defense systems to combat against the weaponry that Russia and China got. You know, but according to the scriptures, according to prophecy, it ain't nothing you can do to stop the destruction that's coming to America, man.
Exactly.
You know, so you can have all these meetings and these summits and talk about how much weaponry you're getting, as much as you want. It's not going to prevail, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah, because the Most High is going to be guiding those missiles, man.
That's right.
Those angels are going to be guiding those missiles so that they hit their mark.
That's right.
Okay, and predominantly, the majority of those missiles are going to be aimed right here at America, man. All these countries, man, they already hate America and everything America stands for, man. Mm-hmm. Okay, because America is a bully, man. It's been bullying all these other countries into doing what they want them to do, taking their resources. Okay, just, you know, shitting on them, man. So that's the prime reason why all these countries hate America, man. All right. You finished.
It says, these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Make her desolate and naked. That's going into the Obadiah. Those that are confederate with thee have laid a wound upon thee. Okay, all these countries, they're getting rich off of America because America's a consuming nation, man. All Americans do is consume, man. America doesn't push out no products. They just bring products in. Okay, and that's them getting, you know, fat off of America, man. And pretty soon, man, this place is gonna be destroyed, man.
That's right.
Which is prophecy, man. All right. You got something, bro?
Yeah, Buckle, sure. Go ahead. This is speaking on Russia, you know, Ezekiel 38, and I started verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army. Yeah,
that's the Most High putting Russia back in that communist state, man. You know, back to being in their first state. All right, go ahead.
Horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields.
Yeah, that's talking about war times, man. This is a time of war that we're in right now, man. It's first it's spiritual, which you know, it's a spiritual battle we're fighting, but pretty soon it's gonna be an actual physical war, man. Yeah. Okay, a world war, the third one, man, which is gonna be the war that ends all wars, man. Because you know, like the brother Uriah always says, man, before there's peace, there's a war, man. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, before we get that ultimate peace, which is us in our rest. You know, us put back on top, which when I say us, I'm talking about Jacob, okay, Israel. Before that happens, it has to, hey, man, the ultimate war has to take place, man. Okay, go ahead.
It says, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Mm-hmm. The modern day sword is a missile.
Yeah, projectile, man. Yep. Okay. And and what is that? That's speaking on Armor God one, man. You know the Jehoshaphat. Okay, that's what that's talking about, right? Go ahead.
Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Mm-hmm. Persia, that's Iran.
You know, Iran hates America. Mm-hmm. The Libyans, they hate Americans. Mm-hmm. The Ethiopians hate Americans. Yep. Okay.
Because you got a lot of secret wars that take place over there in so-called Africa, man. You know, and Esau been going down in there taking their resources.
Exactly.
You know, now that's why they turning to China and Russia and letting them come in there. You know,
and that's why the Africans is killing Edomite on sight, man. On sight, they're killing Esau, man. Everybody's tired of you pale crackers, man. Everybody's tired of you, man. Okay? Hey, man, soon and very soon, hey, man, hey, you guys are gonna get your just reward, man, which is extermination. Go ahead.
Gomer and all his bands, that's Turkey, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with him. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are civil unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. All right, and then I'm going to drop down verse 11. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go
That's
to...
America. The land of unwalled villages is America. America doesn't have no borders around it like that. You know, you got the division between Mexico and the United States, but that's just a fence, man.
Yep.
It can be hot at any time.
Yep. Okay,
and then when you go up to Canada, it's the same thing. All right. So, as a matter of fact, that there's a city that goes through from America to Canada, and it's right there. It's a city. You go on one side of the street, you're in America, and you cross through the little town, and then on the other side, you'll be in Canada. Mm-hmm. So there's no barrier between us when it comes to America and Canada. Where that is over here in the Northwest, I should say.
Yep. It says, I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates.
And who's the proudest people on this planet, man? These so-called Caucasians, man, over here in America, man. Mm-hmm. You know, proud to be an American. You know, what's some of their little slogans?
The few, the proud.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They got all these slogans that said that they soar like the eagle. Their mascot is the eagle.
America's the #1 nation.
Yeah, #1 nation. Yeah, you know, all this. Hey, man, they're prideful and they're at rest, man, because they feel as if no nation can touch them, man. They think the American army is the best army alive, man, which is a lie, man. That's a lie, man. Them Russians, them Chinese, they get down, man. They really do get down, man.
Hey, I was in the military, man. Me and that brother over there as well, man. We was in the military. We know how crappy and outdated their technology is, man. You know, because they're still to this very day using equipment that they have from World War II, man. Yeah. They are still using, you know, like for setting up for communication and stuff. They are still using old equipment. You know, for the most part. Now they do got some new stuff. But it's not as wide scale as they'll have people to believe. You know, that newer technology is not they don't have it deployed everywhere. You know, all the units that deal with that type of technology, all the units that have that MOS where they're supposed to deal with that type of technology is not assigned that stuff, man. You know, and they're not properly trained on it as well. You know,
that's right. I remember Brother Tajar was telling me that you know, and you guys was the MOS, you guys is specialty that they had shit that was so old that, you know, shit had to be fixed all the time, man. Yep. And if you didn't know what you was doing, you got to go back to the pamphlet and actually keep troubleshooting until you figure out what the problem actually was.
Yep.
Now if it's brand new stuff, you shouldn't have to troubleshoot nothing, man.
Well, even if it's brand new, the soldiers aren't properly trained. So if they get brand new equipment, that's fine, but they probably aren't going to get trained on that equipment for you know years down the road before they actually get trained on that equipment, man. And when they send them to go training, hey, we used to go do training exercises, and basically myself, the brother Tazayar, for our unit, we were the only ones that was able to get that equipment up and running, man. Nobody else was able to get that stuff up and running. We had this one satellite terminal where I had to train the entire brigade on how to use it because nobody in the brigade knew how to use it, man. And I learned it over there in Korea with a different unit, you know. So and that's the only reason I knew how to operate it, man. So the U.S. military, the point is that the U.S. military is not as advanced. They're not as strong as they portray themselves to be, man. It's all puffed up smoke.
That's right. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 12. It says, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land.
That's here, man. That's here in America for sure. You know, these people really believe they got it good, and they really believe that they're safe, man.
Yeah, they do.
You know? And that whole thing about the bars and the gate, if I may, bro. That whole thing about the bars and the gates too, man. In the ancient world, you would, if you took a city, if you would go and ransack a city and take it over or whatnot, you always made sure to reinforce those gates, man. Build back up whatever you broke down, because you knew that was the actual defense. If somebody was to come and raid you, that's your line of defense, and you would fight. Your armies would fight from that wall. Right. You know. Now this place don't have no walls, man. If somebody was to come and invade America, these citizens wouldn't know what to do, man. It would be just straight panic in the streets.
Yeah, exactly. And then you know your first line of defense from the water is the Navy, right? But the Coast Guard and the Coast Guards, but they're all out doing some other shit. And with this government shutdown, they're not getting paid.
Yep.
So if somebody was to come invade this place right now, hey, it would be over, man.
Yep.
Because the Navy's already out there in China and everywhere else.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Then you got your militaries across over the seas, and then who's left? These peons, these hillbillies with their guns. Come on, man, it's not gonna go down, man.
Yeah, they don't even have like the U.S. What is it? It's like you got the Army and the National Guard. You know, so the National Guard was basically set up to defend if somebody invaded. You know, the Army was to go out, made to go out and occupy. You know, but they had set up the National Guard just in case they got invaded. But now they sent after the 9/11 and everything, they sent the National Guard out to the Middle East, deploying them all over the place. So now you don't have you have no standing army here in America. You know, you spread thin, just like Rome and old.
Yeah, just like Rome.
That's one of the reasons why they fell. You know?
The National Guard wouldn't be able to assemble quick enough anyway, man. If you know what I'm saying, if somebody was to come and invade a city, say somebody came and invaded Washington State, you know, and they went and start taking over the Puget Sound in Seattle, they wouldn't be able to assemble the National Guard quick enough to stop that damage from happening.
Ain't the National Guard, aren't they like on call?
They're on call. So these guys,
they gotta call them before they can even be ready.
They may be 2 hours away. You know what I'm saying? They may be, you know, they may live in the next state over or something, man. You know, who knows? They may be on vacation. You know?
They probably are with this government shutdown. Like, fuck it.
They don't see war like that either.
No.
That's why they call them weekend warriors.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, what's funny what the brothers just said, they actually made a movie off that, man. Washington State being invaded, you know, by North Korea. It's called Red Dawn.
Red Dawn,
you know?
Yep.
So they're portraying, or they're showing you that one day America is going to be invaded. And where are they getting it from, man? The scriptures, man.
That's right. Is that it on that?
Yeah, that was it.
You got something?
Yeah. I got Joel chapter 2. Really, the entirety of the first half of this chapter is real good. But matter of fact, yeah, let's go ahead and start it. Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. All right. So this is what we're doing right now. We're warning. Our warning is going out to the house of Israel. All right, because that's what we care about. We care that Israel gets this message, man. We care that Israel know what's going on, what's about to happen to this place that they call home. All right. It says, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountain, a great people and a strong. There have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. So there's the time that's coming, man, when we're talking about these armies assembling themselves against America. All right, the destruction that's going to happen from that, you know, which is all being orchestrated by the Heavenly Father. There's never been a time of destruction that's like the one that's about to befall this place, man. All right, the way this country is going to fall, no country ever in history have ever fell like that, man. And nor will there be a need for a country to rise so great and fall again, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not going to be nobody else to rule again. After Israel's put back in power, it's over.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. It says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness.
Yeah, missiles is chasing them, man. The missiles is once the missiles get, or that fire, that flame catches, it's a wrap.
Yep. Imagine a before and after picture, man. All right. The place as it is now, you got these national parks that got the trees and stuff looking real nice, and then this place once it's all a big desert, man. You know. It says, and behind them a desolate wilderness, and nothing shall escape. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains, they shall they leap. Like the noise of flames of fire that devoureth the stubble.
That's talking about those missiles, man. Those missiles, man. They're gonna be stampeding, man. They're gonna be falling through, man. They're gonna be coming in here, man. And it's gonna blow this place up.
That's right.
America is gonna be a desert, man. A desert, man. It would never be inhabited again, ever.
Yep.
Except for by desert creatures, man.
Yep.
Okay.
It's gonna be so bad that you won't even be able to tell the shape of this place, man. You won't even be able to tell where the Great Lakes was, where the Mississippi River was, man.
None of that.
You know, nothing.
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, the Statue of Liberty, where that mountain, where the mountain ranges was, and everything. You won't be able to tell nothing, man.
Nothing.
You know. So all you're gonna be is like, man, that's a desert. That's it. The great desert, all right? It says, as a strong people set in battle array, before their faces the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall.
That's dread, man. They're gonna be in a state of dread, like, oh my goodness, just terrified, man. You know, they tell you in the scriptures that, you know, these people or these men are gonna be like women giving birth, man. You know, they're gonna be hurting, man. All right, scared out their mind, man. Ready to give up the ghost, but hey, man, that fire is prescribed for you. If you're there at that day and time, man. If you're here in America, still alive, all right.
Yep. So like reading on. It says, what was that? It says, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his way. They shall not break their ranks, neither shall one thrust another.
Exactly. He said they shall not break their ranks, neither shall one thrust another. That meaning that these missile defense systems that you think that's going to stop these missiles from touching where they need to touch, it's not going to happen, man. The Lord has poured His Spirit upon these missiles that they're going to land where He wants them to, man.
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city, and they shall run upon the wall.
It said they should, if they fall upon the sword, they should not be wounded. That's a direct statement against the missile defense systems,
that's
man.
Exactly right.
That's a direct. That's telling you that hey, man, there's nothing you can do to stop these missiles, man. Nothing. All right.
Fire's coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
It says they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief.
Yeah, it's gonna be an avalanche of fire, man.
Yeah.
You see an avalanche when it's coming down, man, and that snow is just steaming. Anything in its path is getting decimated, man. Yep. That's what's gonna happen when that nuclear fire hits, man.
Same thing.
It's gonna billow up and it's just gonna plume out. It's gonna touch everything and burn it up.
Yep. Same thing with those sandstorms in the desert.
Yeah. Yep. Nothing's unscathed, man. Everything's touched.
Yep. It says, the earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
Yeah, man. It's because that smoke, that all that burning, it's gonna block the sky out, man. You're not even gonna be able to see nothing. All right.
Yep. It says, and the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it?
Yeah, the day of the Lord, man. If you're not on Yahweh Shem Shai's right side, man, you're gonna taste the death, man, in various ways. And the ultimate death is those missiles, man.
Yep.
Okay, so if a beast don't get you, if you don't starve to death, if a nigga don't kill you in the streets or whatever, and you're still living, hey man, those missiles is what's prescribed for you.
Yep.
All right.
If I can say real quick, anybody that accepts that RFID microchip, man, you can expect death by pain, man.
That's right.
That's promised onto you, death by pain, and a lot of you is gonna have to feel the fire from these missiles.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you take the RFID microchip, you are going to die, man.
For you Israelites.
Then there's no way around that.
Exactly.
Okay? Exactly. I had to just put that out.
Come.
As the Spirit said, exactly what I was saying over here.
Yeah, let's catch that
article.
26.
All right, so this article is from RT.com. It says Russia warns U.S. against arms race on Earth and space after missile defense plans revealed.
Yeah, it said Earth and space, man. They're like, man, we trying to top you in everything.
Man, and they know Yahweh Shai's coming back too.
Yeah.
So continuing, it says U.S. rejection of any limitations on missile defense programs and readiness to weaponize space has drawn a blunt reaction from Moscow, with the Russian Foreign Ministry warning Washington not to restart the Cold War era arms race. Describing the U.S. Missile Defense Review published Thursday as open or openly confrontational. The document shows Washington's intent to establish military dominance and ability to conduct military operations anywhere on the planet with impunity, while rejecting any limitations on missile defense efforts.
Exactly, man. You want everybody else to abide by the codes that you set forth, but you don't even abide by them, man. Right. And then you sit here and tell people they can't make missiles when all you're doing is stocking up missiles, man.
That's it.
You know, and that's why the rest of these countries is like, man, damn you, man. We don't care about your sanctions. We don't care what you're gonna do, because we got other places we can go get our resources from. So we don't need America, okay? And then they're continuing to do what they will, man. They continue to make their missiles just like America's doing, man. Okay. Go ahead.
It says we would like to note that the very same logic served as the foundation of the widespread nuclear missile race that brought the world to the brink of disaster multiple times. All right, thinking back on what they call the Bay of Pigs, you know, when Russia put missiles over there in Cuba, you know, back in the 60s.
Which they're trying to do again.
Exactly, yep.
Well, I don't say they're gonna do it again.
I believe they already did it. They said that Russia put missiles in an undisclosed nation in the Caribbean, you know, or an undisclosed location in the Caribbean, you know. So moves are being made, you know, it's just not being put out there.
Exactly.
You know, like that.
If I could say, that's the whole reason why you had the Cuban Missile Crisis. It's because America didn't want Russia putting missiles in Cuba, because they were saying that was too close to home. And like the brother said, America's a very hypocritical country, because that's exactly what they've been doing to Russia for years, man. Is stocking up missiles in these countries that's surrounding Russia.
Yeah, Crimea, man. They got missiles over there, man.
Yep.
You know, they got missiles all along. The NATO been putting missile defenses all along their border.
Well, yeah, they got missiles in Ukraine. I think remember Crimea.
Crimea went, they went back with Russia. Crimea went back with Russia.
They've been putting a lot of missiles in Eastern Europe, you know, in the Eastern Europe bloc. You know, and that's why Russia is like, what are you talking about? We're not going to war, but what are you doing? Why you got all these missiles on our doorstep?
Yeah, you talking about you don't want to fight, but yeah, here you are squaring up on me.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
You know, like you. That was the same thing. You tried to go to war with us back in the '60s, the Bay of Pigs, Cuba. All right.
Yeah.
Back in the '60s, because of this same thing. You know, we put missiles on your back door, and you had a hissy fit over that.
Right.
Now you're doing the same thing to us, man.
Yep.
Just like the brother said, hypocritical, man.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
It says Russia's foreign ministry said on Friday, adding that the U.S. leadership has apparently decided to step on the same rake with predictable consequences.
Hey, what happens when you step on a rake, man? That shit smacks you in your face, man.
Three Stooges, man.
They say you want to step on the same rake. What the brother was just talking about, the bed pigs, that's the same rake you're talking about, man. You gonna do the exact same thing and you expect nothing to happen?
Yep.
No, that means you're insane if you're doing the exact same thing and expecting different results, man. Okay?
Yep. It says the MDR, or they broke it down, Missile Defense Review, practically gives the green light to deploying elements with strike capability in space. Implementation of these ideas will inevitably lead to an arms race in space, which would have the worst kind of consequences for international security and stability. The Russian minister is calling on Washington to come to its senses and abandon the attempt to provide the Star Wars program proposed by Ronald Reagan or the Reagan administration in the 80s.
But it's already revived. Like, that Star Wars, that ain't going nowhere, man. Because they have a bigger problem on their hands, which is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. They think that Star Wars program is gonna be the solution to help them get over on the Most High, man. It's not gonna happen, man. These weapons that you guys created, the inspiration of those came from the Heavenly Father, man. So you think that you creating those weak ass missiles and shit is gonna do something to those chariots? You got another thing coming, man.
It's a little bit more militarization of space is inevitable, and the United States will quit any relevant non-proliferation treaty that stands in the way.
They said they quit. They will quit.
Yeah. And when the U.S. we already see it. Once the U.S. does something, all the nations fall in line and follow after them, right?
Exactly.
So when the U.S. quits this all these treaties, the other nations are gonna be like, all right, so it's free game now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they're gonna be licking their chops like, we've been waiting to get a hold of get a hold of you guys.
So now all these weaker nations now, there's no restrictions anymore. Now they can just go after missiles. You know, go after the what's that? Intercontinental ballistic missile technology.
Yeah, start growing their uranium or making their
enriching
uranium
and all
that. Because that's the first process of those missiles. You gotta have that enriched uranium to even make the ICBM missiles.
It says a military expert and retired officer who served in the Russian Missile Defense Forces told RT on Thursday, the day before U.S. Diplomats announced that Washington will be leaving the 1987 INF Treaty, placing limitations on specific missiles in Europe. However, Koda Renak was confident that any current or even future missile defenses will be useless against missiles currently in the Russian arsenal, such as Avangard.
Hey, don't they got that missile that can fly backwards and do all that extra shit or something like that? It can go sideways to avoid. I remember I forget who was bringing it out. It was probably like a month or 2 months ago. It was either you or the brother Kassad that was talking about it. How they got the missile defense. I mean, those new missiles that can actually. You can fly around stuff with them.
I know they got those. Russia got some missiles in their arsenal that's like 4 times the speed of sound. You know what I'm saying? If you think about how fast that is, you know, because isn't that Mach? That's Mach 4, right?
Yeah.
Because Mach is when you can break the sound barrier, man. So that they got missiles that's capable of going Mach 4, man.
That's a sonic boom you're gonna hear.
Yep.
I was gonna say it's so fast you can't think quick enough. You know?
Nah, man, you can't. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing you can do with that. There's nothing you can do. Sonic the Hedgehog only goes the speed of sound, man.
You're going 4 times.
Make a joke.
4 times the Hedgehog.
Is that it on that, bro?
That was it on that article.
Let me read this real quick. This is Joel chapter 3, starting at verse 9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war."
Prepare war, man. Like I said, man, we're in a time of war, man. Prepare war. Go ahead.
"Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up."
And is that not what's going on right now, man? Every country has been prepping For what, man? For a huge war, man. For a world war, man. Every country, man. You got the Koreans, you got the Chinese, you got the Russians, you got the East Indians. Everybody is playing war games, man.
Yep.
And I don't know, they call it war games, but it's not a game though. It's real life business, man.
Yep.
Everybody's preparing for war, man. Go ahead.
Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, "I am strong." Yeah,
here why you Americans is still trying to still living deliciously, man. Still giving in marriage and you know, drunk and doing all this folly. All the rest of these countries, they're preparing, man. They're preparing to come and smite you people, man. Okay, go ahead.
It says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat."
Yahweh Shaphat, man. Yahweh's judgment, man. Okay, because that's going to be a major place of judgment, man. You people are going to die, man. A lot of you people are going to die during that war, man. During the judgment of the Heavenly Father, man. All right, go ahead.
"For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about."
Exactly. Everybody's going to be judged, man, because everybody has had a hand in the oppression of Israel, man. Therefore, everybody is going to have to get recompense, man. Recompensed.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
Go ahead.
You want me to continue with that?
If that was the point.
That was the point that I wanted to get.
Okay. I found something real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
One of the missiles Russia got, it's called the 9M337 Cessna R. And it says it's a Russian radar and laser-guided supersonic Mach 4 two-stage missile. Then going down, it says this missile can change direction mid-flight.
That's what I was talking about. Yep, that's it right there. That's it. It can change direction in mid-flight. So it's going, and you shoot your missile defense, your missile to intercept it, and it can just go over, and then that missile that you shot to blow this one down is just gonna miss it, and it's gonna keep coming.
Like the Most High said, man, none shall break their ranks, man. All right. Whatever the path is that they're supposed to fly, them things is gonna fly, man. You know?
That's right.
Them things is gonna fly, and they're gonna hit everything. And even if they do get struck with that missile from the missile defense, man. Hey, with that thing going Mach 4, if you think about something going super fast, man, it doesn't matter that something comes and hit it. That thing's gonna continue moving in that path, you know. If it ain't matching that speed, if it ain't ever able to hit a high enough speed to be able to really cause some type of impact on that thing, it's just gonna keep on going, man. You know.
And then doesn't it cause more destruction when a missile blows up in the air and comes down rather than hitting the ground and going up?
Depending on how close it is to the surface, yeah, man. You know, because obviously if it's way high up, then it ain't gonna do nothing. But if it's close to the surface, you know what I'm saying, and then it blows up, well, yeah, because that part of the explosion's gonna go in every direction.
It's gonna go down and out,
like the center of a basketball, man. So rather it just hitting and only being that dome, that upper half of the basketball, with the rest being absorbed in the ground, now that whole bottom part of the basketball gets to be effective as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's another thing, man, like, because I was just sitting here thinking, like, Esau don't realize the power of Yahweh Shema Shah, man. Because the Most High can take those missiles and do a magneto, man.
Yep.
You know, whatever missile they shoot off, the Most High can have it go straight up and turn around and come right back down, man.
Yep.
You know? That's the power of Yahweh Shema Shah that these Edomites, all right, these proud devils is about to find out, man.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. And he's doing with y'all like he did to Pharaoh, man. He's hardening your hearts, you know, just to set you up to show his power, man. Okay, because you Caucasians, man, think that you can't be touched, man.
Yeah.
You know, you think you can't be touched, man. But the Heavenly Father is gonna touch you, man. He's gonna touch you, man.
I got some.
Oh yeah.
Now this is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 1. Thus said the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind.
Exactly, man. And that Babylon that it's talking about is modern day America, man. Okay? And that destroying wind is what, man? That nuclear fire, man. That's going to be that destroying wind. That's going to, anything that wind touches is going to disintegrate, man. Okay? Because what those missiles burn at what? A million degrees?
I believe so.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah, a million
Something
degrees,
ridiculous.
man. Man, if you get near 1,000 degrees, that should have burned you, man. 1,000,000 degrees? Bro, you're going to disintegrate. You're going to turn to ash immediately.
Continuing, it says, and will send and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about.
Exactly, man. Go ahead.
That's why you got King Trump, you know, and all these other idiots in the Pentagon and in the United States government. Basically, they're nervous, you know. They're in difficult situations, just like the scriptures say. They should be in straits, you know, because they want to upset prophecy. You know? That's why they're like, no, Iran, you can't have missiles. Yeah. No, country, you can't have missiles. You know, this country, that other country, okay, you can have missiles because you're our allies with us. But nah, you can't have missiles because one day you're gonna use them against us. But see, the beautiful thing about it is even America's allies, the Most High is turning them against them. You know, and it's gonna come to a point where the allies of America are gonna join with the enemies of America. They all gonna come together, all right, and the Most High gonna put it into their mind to shoot those missiles, man.
Ain't France beefing with America right now?
Yeah, I believe so.
And France is like one of the #1 allies of America, man.
Germany too.
Yep. It's everybody's.
Europe,
all of Europe is like, hey, the title, and they shall hate the whore, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because especially with Britain trying to leave the EU. Especially with Britain trying to leave the EU, that leaves the two strongest nations there being France and Germany, which both of them see that Russia is able to provide for them what Trump is taking away from them, man. You know, so they want to go and do deals with Russia because it's going to be, it'll work out better for their economies, man. They're not dealing with Trump with this whole America first thing.
Exactly, and you know, Russia's right there by them, man. So it only makes sense for you to deal with Russia because the supply it'll get there faster, man, and you're paying less money for the transport.
Yep.
Okay, you get all your stuff from America. Hey, you gotta pay for it to get there. You gotta wait for it and all that.
And you gotta pay these extra tariffs and whatnot, man. Because this man's he's taxing everybody. Can I read this real quick? Based off of when I was just speaking about how the Most High can magneto those missiles, that had me think of this scripture. This is Matthew chapter 19, verse 26. But Yahushua beheld them and said unto them, with men this is impossible, but with the Most High all things are possible. That's right. So you know you can't try to limit the Most High on how great this destruction is going to be, or you know if this man got some type of defense that he wants to use, you can't limit the Most High. The Most High will make that he won't make that fail. You know. However that's supposed to be worded for it to make sense.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse. I started verse 9. I'll read down. It says, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken." You know, that's that area over there, Russia, China, you know, that whole region over there. You know? It says, "Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. And Chaldea shall be a spoil, all that spoil her shall be satisfied unto the Lord. Because you were glad, because you rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer, at grass, and bellow as bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded, she that bare you shall be ashamed."
Exactly. Now, mother is Britain, man. Ain't that word? What Britain? They kicked out all the convicts and rejects, and where'd they come? They came to America, man, and they reestablished the same type of structure that Britain had, man. So this is just another spinoff of Britain, okay? And that's the mother of America. And it said what she should be sore confounded and shit. What else it say?
It said, your mother shall be so confounded, she that bare you shall be ashamed.
Ashamed, man. Yeah, man, because hey, Britain is it was the birth of America, man. And she's ashamed of the way that you people are governing the planet, man. Okay?
Oh yeah, it's a little bit more. I was just trying to find that, and Daniel was talking about that that little horn that came up out of the beard. This is Daniel chapter 7 verse 8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up from among them another horn before them. So like before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. You know, those first 3. You know, I got it written down here. That was the Spanish, the French, and the English.
Yep.
You know, and it says,
Can I speak on that? Because the Spanish, the French, and the English. You know, it said there was 3, and there was 1 that came in their spot. Because the Spanish, the French, and the English are the ones that came over here and colonized America, man. That's why you got the whole Western Hemisphere of the world that speaks primarily those languages, which Portugal and Spain is you know, they're practically you can practically count those together. You know what I'm saying? You can practically count those together. You know, so but you know, especially here in America, especially here in the United States, it was the Spanish, the French, and the English that came and colonized this place, man. That's why you had the 13 colonies, which all spoke English.
You had the wars too, the Spanish,
the Spanish American,
the French, whatever we call it, war, and the English. They had wars every single one of those.
That's right. That's why in Texas you got to remember the damn Alamo, and that's why they got the Louisiana Purchase from France. You know what I'm saying? It's because those three nations are really or those three countries or whatever are really the ones that started this demonic ass place here called the United States of America, man.
That's right. America just came out of England. Like the brother said. You know? It says, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by its roots, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. You know. So going back, it said back to Jeremiah 50 and 12. Your mother shall be so confounded, she that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert.
That's America. That's America, man. It's America.
It's America all the way.
Yeah. That's, hey, anybody got any closing precepts?
That's all I got. Oh, well, I mean,
there's plenty of street precepts they can still get.
Yeah,
they can get grabbed. Just real quick, since we speaking about the downfall of America, this is Revelation 18, 18 and 2. It says, and he cried with a mighty and strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Yeah, man, and that's talking about all these nations following suit with America and its policies, man. America and its doctrines, man. This homosexual vibration that's being pushed out, it's being magnified throughout the globe with all these other nations. Okay, the anti Messiah. You know what I'm saying? All these people are antichrist, man. Or not Christ, but anti-Mashiachs, man.
Yep.
You know? Because everything they do is against the scriptures, man.
Yep.
Everything, man. And they believe that, you know, they're going to prevail in their ways, but, hey, man, the Most High is going to destroy this place, man.
That's right.
For all the wickedness that you guys commit. All right?
And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she have rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. And the cup which she have filled, fill to her double.
Exactly, and that's when we get our hands on Esau's neck, man. We're gonna do double to them what they did to us, man.
Yep.
Okay, and in the rest of the nations too, you guys are gonna get double the cup too.
Yep.
All right.
How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her.
Exactly. I really needs no explanation, man. It's plain as day with the Most High, what he's saying right there, man. Okay? Esau is going to get double for all the atrocities that he's done. And, hey, Esau, America is going to be burnt with thermonuclear fire.
That's it.
Okay? And ultimately, Esau is going to be exterminated, man.
That's right.
All right? That's right. You got something, bro?
Yeah, I'll just read this. This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
That's exactly, right. Man. It's not going to be like old time war, okay, where everybody got buckler and sword and arrows and that. Man, it's gonna be guns, man. It's gonna be guns, missiles, grenades. It's gonna be it's projectiles, man. Okay, everybody's gonna be squeezing something or shooting something, you know, pressing the buttons. Okay,
pressing buttons and pulling triggers.
Yeah, that's all it's gonna be. Okay,
that's right.
Hey, with that, you know, we're gonna wrap it up. You know, give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakah, Kodash. Hey, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Hey, salutations, shalom, blessings to you, sincere Akim.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.